Ever since the first resume was created and used in the late 15th century by the great Leonardo da Vinci when he was requesting for a job, to date, resume has been a necessity when applying for a job. Somehow, it became the most crucial document during the process of recruiting and hiring. In this video, I'll give you reasons why you need a good resume to get a good job. And if you stick to the end of this video, I'll teach you how you can build a good resume that will make you stand out and attract your employer. Resume has been the easiest way for recruiters to select their best candidates. And not all employers go through every resume submitted to them. And if you think big enterprises like Facebook, Google, and Netflix go through every application submitted to them, you could not be more wrong. No one has the time to go through every application. Imagine going through 1,000 applicants. Yeah, it can be so hard. So how do these big enterprises select their candidates? Big companies have been able to develop faster ways and algorithms to be able to select their candidates. And this is where your application comes in. And this is where your resume also have to stand out. And if you can't take your time to build better resume that will make you to stand out during applications, then don't bother applying for jobs, because what's the point? And your resume should contain vital information about you and not your photograph and long stories. Your resume should contain important sections like your name, contact info, the program language you use, the technologies and framework you use, your work experience, your best projects, your education, and a small section about you. If you have your resume laid out into these sections, it will be very easy for the employer and their algorithms to get the information they need about you. I remember when I used a resume in this layout to apply for a job. I was surprised on how the website was able to take in all these categories and arrange them into the application for me, because all what the employer needed was listed on my resume, and it was easy for the websites to track and get all the info it needed about me. This made the application easy for me myself. Imagine if the section of the technologies I use were a long sentence. It would be very hard for the recruiter to follow up, and no one has the time to read long stories. So how can we build a better resume? First, we need to divide the template into 8 sections, which are green, red, blue, yellow, orange, purple, pink, and gray. The green section should contain your full name and your preferred name in brackets if you have one. The red section should contain your contact info like email address, phone numbers, and your LinkedIn profile. The blue section should contain the languages and programming language you use like JavaScript, C++, Python, and so on. The yellow section should contain the technologies and frameworks you use like React.js, .NET Framework, MongoDB, MySQL, and so on. The orange section should contain your work experience. And remember, put the best first. For example, if you've worked for a startup and you've also worked for a big enterprise like a bank, put the bank first. The purple section should contain the best projects you've worked on. The pink section should contain your education and courses related to the job you've taken. For example, if you took data structure in C++ in college, put it in there. Lastly, the gray layout should contain a small section about you. Just a small write-up, you know. For example, you can put in something like, I have 5 years experience working as a software engineer in office spaces and freelancing. I have also collaborated with large teams like Team Y and so on. You get the idea. Just write something catchy. If you have your resume laid out this way, it will be very easy for employers to access the information they need about you without reading an article. Lastly, did you know that by liking my video and subscribing to my channel, YouTube automatically gives you $10? But there is a catch. It is not real.